sun has risen. I've been up for a good few hours. 5:30 early morning start. Beautiful day. Time to go wake up the puppies. Good morning. Hello. Hey, you stretch. Hi. Hi. Good morning. Get your waist. Go, 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 go. Hi, hi, hi. Go to your waist. Go to your waist. Go, go, go. Go. We'll just take a moment to appreciate how good the Bobster is looking.
Right there, no morning apps.
Oh, look at them motherfuckers.
I'm just gonna pop a little bit because I haven't eaten anything.
Morning abs. Where are my morning abs? God damn it. Oh, I did that. I got morning abs. Check out these bad boys. Oh, they're very good, Rocks. They're very good. I've been working religiously on them, doing puppy crunches. Love you, Mum. Thank you, baby. Been home a little bit now. The weather has been glorious in terms of the fact it hasn't been raining. We're both feeling fantastic. Got back and Lainey is looking insane. The girl has been working her butt off. She's super driven at the moment. I'm really, really proud of her. She had time where we didn't know she had a viral infection. So she was training, feeling like crap, trying to do her work, feeling like crap. And we didn't know, 3 months this really affected her. She finally got over the virus. And since then, over the last 3 weeks, her body has changed so much. Her mentality has changed. She has an all new drive, an all new focus. She's concentrating more on her than running around after me, which is 100% how it should be. But she still supports me in every single way, which is amazing. Just be nice. She wanted to get us Cirque du Soleil tickets for our anniversary, but they were sold out. I managed to get us a pair. I'm gonna go tell her now. Oh, and we've been together 3 years. 3 years. You guys have been with us on that journey too, which is pretty cool. Lainey, how you doing? I've been saying how amazing you've been doing with your new determination and drive and transformation.
Yeah.
You've been awesome. So, as a reward, what do you want to do tonight?
What do I want to do?
What do you want to do?
Ooh, like a date.
Like a date.
Go see Bridget Jones's baby.
Nah, that's not good enough. You've worked too hard for that. What else should we do?
For dinner?
Dinner, no, still not good enough. How about we go and watch the Cirque du Soleil?
No, you didn't get tickets.
Yeah, I did.
It's all sold out.
I know.
And thank you.
You're welcome. How do you?
I didn't know. I usually know.
Yes! Yes! Lex won.
Bailey doesn't get the game. Bailey's just doing yoga.
Here we are, ready to hit the Cirque du Soleil. It's been a beautiful day, been out on the bike, had my beard trimmed, hair sorted out, although I'm covering with a hat because I'm super lazy. Rocking, I think it's an ASOS top. Got my South jeans on and some biker boots, literally biker boots. One, it's wear them in, and two, I think they look dope. Lainey's sporting a double bobble hat. Let's go, Cirque du Soleil, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
We are chasing fire.
So starting the morning right, a cup of tea, a brew, and many of you might notice this robin. You might know this from a certain tattoo on my body. Blueberries, strawberries, pineapple, and birch muesli. Welcome to my morning. Do you ever get it when your fingers and your toes just start itching for no reason? I've had it for the last few days. We don't know why.
Chilblains?
I don't know what that is. But I can tell you one thing, that I am sore from here, ow, to here, ow. Because yesterday, I took the first steps towards the changes that you guys are going to see come in a couple of weeks. And, ow. Because what I'm undertaking is something new, but also kind of old. It means getting back into things, back into them in quite an aggressive manner. And I want to do that for a couple of weeks before I introduce it to you guys, so that when I do introduce it, it's in flow and there's some exciting stuff that we can get straight on with out the gate. But trust me when I tell you, you're going to love it. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and head to the BMW garage in Preston, because there is a classic motorbike meet going on there. Then I'm going to go from there to see a friend who got taken into hospital the other day and didn't tell me until last night. Men. One of the great things about the cafe racer scene is you get to dress like you're not a Power Ranger. I'm going to take my 1985 classic out with me today. Getting back into the flow of things means a couple of new toys to help me stay motivated and stay on track. Amazon guys just been, and I thought I'd show you what I've ordered. These, the new Sony Bluetooth wireless headsets. 50 quid from on Amazon. And that, for something that is going to be a good high quality Bluetooth headphone, I think that's pretty darn good. Wires suck, they get in the way, they get irritating, and I am notorious for catching wires on machines as I walk past and breaking headphones. These are one of the best rated headphones. I think if I can ever get into them, right, seriously, ugh. There they are. So here you have your controls. So you've got volume up, volume down, pause and play. You know, real simple. But the best thing about these is I have a peanut head, basically a little head. I have these normally as I've been on a machine and they'll fall forward. But these are super tight. They are going nowhere, which means during intense training sessions, I now have a good playlist spurring me on. One thing to note would be they don't come with a carry case. So if you're prone to damage yourself throwing them in your bag, something to bear in mind. Do you munching?
Crap.
The details. That doesn't look half bad. Tuna fish cakes, sweet potatoes, broccoli. Man tray dish thing. Okay, so getting ready for the gym. Today is leg day and the postman just brought me a package. I talked the other day about the necessity of having the right tools for the job. You saw the video of Omar about the squatting and the technique and the importance of the dorsiflexion. If you haven't seen that, link will appear. Go check out that video. Don't forget to check out Omar's version of his video, of the same video on his channel too. In that video, I made positive steps towards change and helping myself change. Let's go test these bad boys out. Today I want to be fired up, so I'm using the RPM for the wah, and I'm using the PSI for the blood flow and the pump. Because today we're going to be doing some quads and chest. I'm in the gym to get all manly and then they pull out this little beauty. They will say hello to Muscles, who was found abandoned 2 weeks ago. Rescued and now a little, look at the different. So sticking with what I said and rolling out before every squat session and as often as possible, doing the IT band, then rolling on the glute and then also the front of the quads to make sure that everything was nice and loose, making sure to sink the weights into the areas that felt nice and tender. The roller is a really useful implement. If you don't have one, I urge you to buy one. They're not expensive and well worth the money. Then moving on to the ball on the glute as you saw last time, making sure to find the pressure points. So when doing this one, when you find the point of tension or pain with this ball, when you get it in the glute and you sink it right, it should almost make the glute twitch and fire off. That's how you know you're hitting the right spot. What you're not to do is to forget to also do your mandatory standardized stretches. When you find out what you need to do in terms of release, stretch and rolling, don't forget about the basics. And by the basics, obviously, we're talking about those static stretches and dynamic movements that help target areas that you seem to have issues with. Myself, it's the groin, and I find the leg swings and obviously pressure on the knees with your feet in towards your body is a really good groin stretch. As well as sitting down into the movement and putting your body into the position that's going to be in during the exercise. Here you can see me sitting into the squat motion and rocking my body weight forward to help with that dorsiflexion that we've already talked about in the previous video. So what I'm doing here is pulling on the machine to pull my body weight forward, which is helping with improvement on that ankle flexion, which is one of my areas that the shoes are going to help correct by giving me that platformed heel. From there I move into holding my body weight on its own and then pushing up through the movement. I'll repeat this process maybe 3 or 4 times. Then again, you can see me repeating the movement that you saw in the previous video, which is helping with the dorsiflexion, the ability to pull the foot up towards the shin. This one is a motion where you're driving the weight through the front foot, keeping the back foot perfectly parallel. You do this with both legs, 3 or 4 rotations on each one, and you should be finding with each time you get better and better with an improved movement and ability to keep your back foot parallel to the front foot. What's going to happen is the heel is going to want to kick inward, and you want to avoid that happening. First things to note about these shoes, even though they're straight, fresh out the box, they are very comfortable. I expected them to be really kind of harsh feeling. I feel like I can actually walk around in these relatively okay. They're very well padded compared to what I expected. So far, very impressed. The goal here is to not use the knee sleeves for the first few sets, just to see, like, just to get it in my head to stabilize my knees myself rather than rely on them. I don't want to become reliant on something, that's my main thing. But with the increased dorsiflexion from these, it should feel better anyway, so let's crack on. So we're going to take a look at that first set. Now, I've only been implementing these procedures maybe a week and a half now, and you can see already my movement from the other video is way better. I'm coming way more down, the hips are going less backwards and more straight down. I've got better flexion forward, especially with the ability to use these shoes now, which creates a platform under the heel, which helps with the dorsiflexion, which is one of the areas I suffer with. As before, I'm focusing on keeping the weight in the heels. I'm turning my toes and knees outward, I'm pulling on the bar, I'm engaging my glutes, and I'm bracing my core. I utilize just 20 a side for the first 3 sets, and then from sets 4 to 6 I use the weight you can see on the bar here, which is a 20 kilo plate and then a 10 plate either side. Here you can see me practicing the movement still, even this far into the sets, 6 sets, still setting myself before I get under the bar, because if the previous sets felt tight at all, or I felt like I had lost connection with the movement, I'm constantly trying to improve, so I'm constantly just going through it in my head and trying to get my body used to that motor pathway of connecting the muscles together. So on the way down, what I'm focusing on is engaging the glutes, turning the knees out, twisting the floor with my feet as if driving the weight onto the heels and the outside of the toes, and then maintaining that on the drive back up also, the whole time pulling down on that bar. I tightened the shoes a little tight there because the blood flow was getting a little cut off, so you see me loosen them at the end. On to the final set, set 8. For the last 2 sets, sets 7 and 8, I added an extra 5 kilos on each side, which makes 35 kilograms each side, plus the Olympic bar. This was the heaviest I've squatted properly, that used word there, properly, for a very long time without any pain.
I only did around about 4 or 5 reps on this because I was pretty fatigued, and this was more to test to see if I could handle the weight and keep my form, and I was very happy with the way it went. It felt strong, I didn't feel any pain, I didn't see any compensation of the body, so this will be my next target weight to move on to.
Okay, so happy with that considering I haven't really squatted for the last 3 days because of other things I've been undertaking you'll find out about soon, and also the fact that, you know, I'm doing day on, day off to allow my body to cope with these new basic foundation, working from the foundation back up again. And yeah, very good, but it is very, very complex and frustrating sometimes. Remembering to try and do all these things, twisting the, rotating out, bringing in the glutes, keeping the weight on the heels and the outside of the toes, rolling that foot out. It's a lot to take in when the body's motor system isn't used to engaging all those things. So sometimes things lapse. So when I get to depth, I'm concentrating more on getting to depth and forgetting to roll the knees out. So what that does immediately, every time I get through that, I get a pain coming to my right knee. And that's obviously because of that compensation being allowed again. So it's super, super important that you take your time and you build into these. Rest between every rep if you need to reset, and just get them out. And when you get tired as well, you make mistakes, and that's exactly what we're doing here, because we make a mistake here, we're back to ground zero with an actual injury. So take your time, be slow, and just be happy with every good rep that you get. Because now I could be annoyed slightly thinking, God damn, I'm like, my max weight is what my warm-up used to be, but that's not true, that wasn't my warm-up. Yeah, it was my warm-up to squat badly, which counts for nothing. I was shifting, not lifting. So be more obsessed with your form, be more obsessed with your technique, and be more obsessed with true, real progression.
I like to work compound after compound, so I moved on to chest. Here you can see me doing an upper pec stretch. You have to have the hand facing up and rotate away, and that should pull on the pec minor. It's a real nice release. And here you can see me engaging the scapula and getting them ready for the bench press, using again just the band that I was using to stretch out my chest. Very, very good movement this to help engage your scapula. If you have a struggle warming them up, that's a really good one. This again, you can't actually see it here, but I do have the elastic band in between each hand, and I am pulling it up and over my head and around my back to again release the shoulders. Here, setting my arch by putting my feet up on the bench, rolling the scapula back, and then keeping the arch whilst putting my feet down and keeping my glutes on the bench. What we're wanting to avoid here is letting the hips pop up off the bench as you drive through the feet. You're looking to drive through the feet, keep the elbows close to the body, hands nice and tight around the bar, and transfer all that force through your feet up into the bar and explode outward. Starting with a nice light weight, I did 3 or 4 sets using this really light, just 20 aside, just to get the motion in my head. Again, this is all about getting the technique down and then moving on with real progression. What I want you to watch here is my elbows once I've lifted off. So you'll see me lift off and then rotate my elbows inward. You see just there I did it. And that's what we're trying to do in every single lift. You want to keep that inward rotation throughout the whole movement. Here you can see there's no hip raise. My abdomen's nice and high, and I'm keeping my elbows quite tight to the body, and the bar is coming quite low below the nipples and then driving up to in line with the nipples, if that makes any sense. Here I was trying to tell you what I'm doing is rotating the elbow in, but the sound is so bad I'll voice it over here. But you can watch here. As I hold my fist, you'll see my hand stays in the same position, but my elbow rotates under. That's the exact motion you need to do underneath the bar and maintain it there. What that's going to do, it's going to help keep pressure off the shoulder, help you keep the scapula engaged, and help you drive up without causing any shoulder pain. So that previous set that you just saw had a 20 and a 10 on each side. I then edged up to 40 kilos on each side, including the Olympic bar, which makes 100 kilos. And this was just again to test the weight. You see me rotate my elbows in, and this was just to see whether I could shift the weight successfully with good drive without losing technique or raising my hips off the bench. This is only my second week back benching after having the shoulder injury a few years ago where I completely avoided the bench. So this is feeling really good considering I haven't bench pressed in a couple of years. So that will be my upper weight that I'm aiming for now.
Big thing, guys, is to make sure that the ends of your bars are tight. Over time, these will work loose no matter how many times I tighten by staff over the day. The racking and banging of the weight will loosen this up, and if this is slightly loose, that means that the whole end is able to shift. What that then does is changes the central point of the bar if one side is able to shift over. Make sure you check both sides all the time. Very important.
From there, I just dropped the weight back down and did 2 AMRAP sets, and that is as many reps as possible. Again, maintaining the form and just practicing leg drive, keeping my hips on the bench, nice arc in my lower back, keeping my abdomen nice and high, scapula retracted, and really just driving. I did actually prefer a suicide grip on the bar compared to a conventional grip. It seems to just give my elbows a little less stress and a little less pain. So up to you, but have a play around between a normal and suicide grip. Then moved on again using that upper weight that I got to before. This is about 3 resets in onto the seated plate press. You can see me there setting my scapula, really practicing and retracting and keeping them in position as I sit down. And throughout this again, I'm practicing the same as on the bench, keeping the elbows close to the body, driving through the feet, keeping my abdomen nice and arched, lower back arched, trying to hold a vacuum as best as possible, pausing at the bottom to reset if I need to at any points, if I felt like my left shoulder was raising, which is where my impingement is, and then driving through. So the moment that the form goes is where your set finishes. Remember, whenever you're trying to rehab or get better at something, it is always going to be a moment where your technique goes that classes as the failure for that exercise. Just shifting the weight up by any means necessary is not going to benefit you in any way, shape or form. So please guys, let the ego go and let go of the weights once the technique begins to fail. I then finished with legs on the extensions. I want to point out here I did them super light and did some volume work. Here you'll see me even place my fingers where I'm trying to target, which is on the teardrops. So my legs are nice and close together. I actually have my lower back off the pad. The pad's quite deep back and I only have my upper back resting on the pad. From here, I'm just turning my toes out at the top of the movement just to help emphasize the teardrops. This is really good. I did around about 5 sets on every single exercise that you saw in this video. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'll catch you soon.